David is on the line in Chicago. Hi, David. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Anthony. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. Yeah. How can we help?
I'm looking to make a luxury purchase, and I've been eyeing this purchase for a very long time. And I finally got approval from my wife, and she's on board now. And now I just want your input to see if it's justified financially for us. It's a luxury car that I'm looking to buy.
What kind of car is it,
and
David?
It's a 2017 Rolls-Royce two-door.
Okay. What's it cost?
It's $220,000.
How much?
At $220,000.
$220,000. Okay. What do you make a year?
Combined, me and my wife, we make $550,000.
Okay. And what's your net worth?
We have about $2.4 million, and that includes some of our house too.
Okay.
And then $2 million in the mutual funds.
So your net worth is
about 2.5.
Oh, 2.5. Okay.
Yeah.
And
we do have about our house is worth $750,000, but we still have $300,000 remaining on the mortgage.
Okay. All right.
Any other debt? I just gotta ask. You shouldn't, but I just gotta ask the question.
No other debt.
Okay. Well, the rule of thumb is you shouldn't have items that are going cars, items with things with motors in them that total up more than half your annual income. This is close. And obviously these numbers are ridiculous for most people. They don't face a $500,000 income, and they don't face a $200,000 car purchase. I wouldn't do it until I paid off my house if I were in your shoes.
Okay.
But I don't think the car is completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's close. I mean, it's kind of on the bubble. How much money have you got in savings? Not counting retirement.
Savings, we have about $200,000.
Okay, and you don't have any money other than that's non-retirement money. You have investments that are non-retirement?
Just our house.
Yeah, but you don't have a non-retirement mutual fund or stock portfolio or something like that?
No.
So if you go buy this $200,000 car,
you got no money.
Yeah, you have no more cash, right? No emergency fund.
It would just be the $200,000, yeah. So I guess
you would have no emergency fund if you bought the car.
You mean? Okay, no.
Yeah. So no.
No, you don't buy the car.
Yeah. No.
This car is not an emergency. Yeah. So out of the $200,000 you have in savings, if I were in your shoes, what would I do? I think you need to get this car someday.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to get it now.
Okay.
And I don't mind. I mean, I think you're probably going to end up making more money and saving more money. You've done a great job. You have a fabulous net worth. But driving that car and having zero money in the bank is unwise.
Right.
So I want an emergency fund sitting there of 3 to 6 months of expenses. That sounds like 50 to 75 grand, which leaves you 100 and a quarter. Throw at your house. I'd knock my house out this year, be done with it, and then I'd save up and pay cash for this car next year.
Yep. I was about to say you can do that next year, man.
So also pay off the mortgage too.
Yeah, I want to pay off the mortgage and have an emergency fund in place. And because here's what it amounts to, David. Okay, This is a toy.
Yep.
Right.
I've got some toys. I own several automobiles. I love cars too. I'm a car guy. So I'm kind of salivating over this purchase with you. I think it's a very cool car that you're talking about. But you want toys to be where you don't financially notice them. Like if I just set fire to that much money in my driveway, would I still be okay the next morning? That's what I mean by not financially noticing it. And if you set fire to $200,000 in your financial situation sitting in your driveway, you would notice it because you'd have no emergency fund and you still have a mortgage. And that's how my thinking works. And so we work with a lot of uber high-end earners, some of them well-known people, some of them not, some of them athletes or music people or whatever. And sometimes people have trouble enjoying their money, and then sometimes all they do is enjoy their money. And so, but like I was with a guy the other day he's made $15 million last year income, and he bought a $400,000 car. Now that's that he can set fire to that much in his driveway and not notice. When you make 15 million, you can buy 400,000, right? And so, but you're not quite at that mark yet, and I want to get you there to where, because let me tell you what it'll do. From someone who's done it, okay? It will increase your enjoyment of the purchase when it is not putting anything at risk.
Yeah.
When when it doesn't even show up on the emotional bubble, it will increase your enjoyment.
I love that. I can't wait for that day.
Well, you are enjoying it.
Well,
You've got a lot of you've done some nice things. You've been on some nice trips. You've done, you've been making a great income.
Yes.
And so you've had the same thing. It's just what makes it hard to process these things are the emotions, because when you start, because you start going, 200,000. I mean, you can't. Who needs that 200,000? That's what starts going through your head.
Well, I know I don't need it, but I definitely want it.
But I want it. But and some of the stuff you and I do,
yes,
or the other people do, is it's just a zero.
Oh yeah,
that's all it is. Just a decimal point and a zero. So, but what you want is ratios on items that are not producing wealth.
Yeah.
To be small.
Yes.
And then you could enjoy them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Dave. I mean, when I went and purchased my first dream car here a few months ago, it felt so good to walk in there, pay cash, leave, and not think about, did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't stressed. I still had a large savings account. It just felt so good to do that.
And that's a dadgum nice car.
Yes, sir.
That you're driving.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice car.
It's a beautiful car.
And so wasn't a cheap car.
No, sir, it was not.
But you're in a position that you could do that, and it didn't cause your stomach to get tight. It didn't cause your throat to get tight.
Not at all.
It shouldn't. You know. And so that's the measure. It's not there is no amount of car that is immoral.
Yes.
There is no amount of car that is moral. Mm-hmm. There is no amount of car that makes you unspiritual. And that God doesn't love you because you bought an expensive car. That does not exist.
Yes.
But but what indicates whether you're off or not is, have you put yourself in a position you cannot be outrageously generous? Have you put yourself in a position that you're living on the line? You're right on razor's edge.
Yes.
Then that's unwise, and if done in an extreme, you put your family at risk. That is immoral.
Yep.
Now, those that don't take care of their own household first are worse than an unbeliever. So, and some of you are out there judging everybody else's stuff. Some of you are judging him right now, and you need to get back to minding your own business. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.